Joe Biden has some brand new shoes. Did you know that? Yeah, brand new shoes. Well, it's true. The president is sporting new shoes, and multiple reports say it's to help to prevent falling, which he has done numerous times since he arrived in the West Wing, of course. Inside Edition identified the shoes as lifestyle sneakers. They're made by the shoe company Hoka. They're called Transports. Yeah, the new kicks apparently have extra wide soles to give the wobbly leader maximum stability. Too bad for Joe. They can't do the same thing for his standing in the polls. I mean, as you know, Biden got no bounce at all from the State of the Union address, 10 days ago now. And in fact, his polling numbers have actually gotten worse, if you can believe it. Insiders say that Joe has become even more belligerent than before as a result. He has anger management issues, lashes out at people when they tell him Donald Trump is winning across the board, and Donald Trump's winning in all 7 swing states. And most of them outside the margin of error, by the way. And Biden's friends inside the Beltway and inside the corporate media machines are finding it harder and harder to hide the truth about what's really going on, you see. NBC says Joe Biden is sullen, hard to deal with because he knows he's losing. But then, of course, they attack Trump and American voters like you. It's what they do. Here it is.
We are getting this new reporting about the Biden campaign and about President Biden himself and how he is taking, especially all of these polls, which show him in some cases losing to former President Trump. Basically, our reporting says that Biden has grown angry and anxious about his reelection efforts. Simone, is that what you're hearing in your conversations with Democrats?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, if I were running for election against a person like Donald Trump, who has as many issues as he has and has committed as many alleged acts of criminality as he has, and I would be, you saw polls that said I was losing to him, even I would be like, well, what is going on here in America?
Yeah, what is going on? Well, people are rejecting Joe Biden. That's what's going on. I mean, come on. Hello. New shoes or not. How tough is it out there, by the way? Well, let me tell you how tough it is. This should give you an idea. On St. Patty's Day, senile old Joe couldn't get any applause. So he said, you go ahead and applause here. You got to see it. Here it is.
Ireland now is one of the top 10 investors in the United States economy, and our country stand proudly for liberty and against tyranny. We stand together and oppose Russia's brutal war of aggression in Ukraine. You can clap for that, please.
Oh, you can clap for that, please. Really? Good Lord. By the way, if Hoka didn't just make shoes, man, wouldn't it be nice if that company made a teleprompter that was wider, had maximum stability? Because if they did, I guarantee you that Joe Biden's team would be buying several today. If it could stop the embarrassing gaffes and moments that come every single day. I mean, it is tough out there. St. Patrick's Day should be a day to celebrate for Joe Biden and his Irish heritage. He should just love it. But instead, the wearing of the green didn't help Joe with his speaking abilities. Slurring through most of it again, it's embarrassing. Listen to this.
Great to have you here, and it's very happy to see Northern Ireland's Executive Assembly reinstated last month. Now Northern Ireland is a fully functioning government again, and I didn't mention your colleague. Young people in Northern Ireland represent the great peace dividend of the Belfast Good Friday Agreement.
It's just embarrassing. His handlers ought to be ashamed. The people that put him out there every day ought to be. His wife should be ashamed. I'm telling you. So instead of focusing on the obvious, right, the corporate media insiders instead went to work furiously over the weekend to twist out of context something former President Donald Trump said about the future of the car industry in America, offering the observation that Joe Biden getting reelected would be the end of it. That's the observation that Trump made. But the media all zeroed in on one specific term he used. One specific term, of course. Donald Trump was attacked by the left for using the term bloodbath at an Ohio rally when he was talking specifically about the automobile industry getting destroyed if Joe Biden wins election again. This is an important thing. Bloodbath. Listen to this.
Mexico has taken, over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it. Went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal. those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the.
So he says it's going to be a bloodbath, talking about specifically the car industry. But the dishonest corporate media took that little clip, just the little few seconds there. It's going to be a bloodbath for the entire country, to suggest that there'll be political violence in the streets. That's not what Donald Trump was talking about. And I played the entire clip there so you have a very clear understanding of what he was saying, why he was saying it. It's clear to any honest person he was referring to the auto industry, maybe more broadly to the economy and its failures under old senile Joe. But, of course, that's not what was reported far and wide. No, the media repeated over and over again that Donald Trump was predicting a bloodbath if he was not reelected, which is completely and totally dishonest. I'm ashamed to even admit anymore that at one time I worked for NBC News. What a terrible company they've all become, all of them, NBC and all the rest. NBC's not unique. They're all terrible over the last 20 years. Truly, these corporate media rats don't care about news or what's actually true. They care only about the agenda, how to move it forward, their agenda, the left-wing agenda, no matter who gets hurt or how bad it is for America. It doesn't matter to them. It doesn't. Nancy Pelosi went running to CNN to amplify the lie about what Trump said, and then she goes overboard about previous lies about things Donald Trump never said. Listen to this.
He's even predicting a bloodbath. What does that mean? He's going to exact a bloodbath? There's something wrong here. How respectful I am of the American people and their goodness. But how much more do they have to see from him to understand that this isn't what our country is about? Praising Hitler, praising the Russians. Honestly, condemning our soldiers for losing or dying in war or being captured in war. It said, what's wrong with Russia? They defeated Hitler. What about the millions of Americans who risked or gave their lives? What about him saying that soldiers buried in Europe, he didn't want to visit them because they were losers?
Lying. And Dana Bash is CNN just bobblehead. Yeah, Nancy, whatever Nancy says. Good grief. Anyhow, it's Monday. Good to see you. We're off to a good start. I'll be back.